I'm feeling entertained, amused. The judges are interesting. Their judgment was interesting. I came for a competition. At the end of the day,
hello and good evening everyone out there. This is the lovely and beautiful Miss KyokoCane, the cosplaying hostess with the mostest, the brown sugar queen, and the melanin designer herself. And welcome to today's Star Voyage, where my channel is dedicated to talking about animation, the family entertainment, and also how pretty much things have been depicted as such in today's generation in the media to a certain extent. And this is me, the lovely and beautiful Miss KyokoCane herself. Just want to give you a quick intake. This is going to be a really great video because I feel so pumped up and ready to go, because this video in particular is going to be part of the Owl House debugging special and what y'all voted for throughout social media and Tumblr in itself. And it's going to be called Luznoceda being the designated bag lady. Woo! Yes. I'm so grateful to finally get this off of my shoulders and also all my notes down into my notepad after rewatching the whole series in itself. And it feels so great to be able to get all this like tension and disposition and anger and my opinions and critiques on the show itself, because I really truly love the show, and I really do love like the many aspects of wizardry and sorcery that it incorporates into the show to itself. And having that being said, that's not without its flaws and its critiques. And we're going to be discussing about that and the many things that I got written down, taking notes, and it's going to be divided into certain segments throughout. And after that, I'll be pretty much doing voicing and opinions about the Reddit and Tumblr social media opinions about the show, and also character flaws within Luznoceda herself. So here I go. Okay, now you may wonder why I decided the topic and the title of this video called Designated Bag Lady is from the fact, if you look up the term bag lady in itself, you may see like the picture and also the description saying that it's a homeless woman, to be exact. However, it's supposed to be based off of the song by a soulful R&B queen of neo-soul artist herself, Miss Erykah Badu, which sings about the song titled Bag Lady. It tells a description about how pretty much a woman or a girl or a female, pretty much basically, makes sure to pack light in hopes of a great future, and that you can't carry so much emotional baggage throughout your whole life just to get close to anyone or anything for that matter, or have like a really great future towards like being able to accomplish anything in your whole life, and just to be able to just like do good for yourself and for others. And I advise y'all to really listen to like the song itself by Erykah Badu, Bag Lady, so I can get like a quick like income of how pretty much of what I'm talking about for all you Caucasian people who haven't listened to like R&B or soul out there, because you know R&B and soul is where it's at, to be honest. Yeah.
Bag lady, you gon' hurt your back, dragging all them bags like that.
Okay, but besides that clip that I just put out there, I just want to let you know that we're gonna start. I'm gonna start reading some topics about why Luznoceda is basically a flawed character, and there's so much for her to like fill in, like for character development and also depth. Which I mind reminding you that I rewatched the show and also looked back and forth through like her progress. She did really good. However, she still needs to learn about what's going to make herself look good in the future and how she's going to grow from it in general. And, you know, just be a really good, healthy, like-minded, well-intentioned adult if she were to have a relationship or be married. So, here I go. Now, I'm going to start reading some Reddit topics and also some Tumblr topics about why the character is flawed. And this is going to be my first topic. It's going to be this from another username by, I think, Frosting Flaws. Okay, here we go. One thing's for sure, I appreciated the show is just how much they've shown that Luz has grown out of this fantasy mindset and come to respect boiling owls as a world, which is also true. There is a point in this case that sometimes like her grandiosity towards like her idealism of a perfect world sometimes clouds her like her naivete and her realism to the point where like she just does something really innocently and sometimes out of pocket just to help people, because she has no like self-worth and love for herself to be able to become like self-nurturing to a fault. and it's absolutely detrimented her character along the long run, and it sometimes come across to other people as meddling. Say, for example, the first episode of her bringing fireworks and snakes to the school, even though like she finds them amazing, but yet like people can find that very detrimental. Even like you're lighting up fireworks in like non-safety zone in like a building in a hallway that could pretty much hurt people, and she doesn't really like give very mindfulness towards that, and it's absolutely just sad how pretty much she comes across as not caring about that whatsoever and staying ambivalent. And also the meddling really takes it to a whole nother high. Like her meddling just does not cease to just like calm down to the point where like she becomes so impressionable to the point of just not having any self-love and just being needy towards like everyone's aspect. And that, my friend, is how you pretty much describe luznoceda as a bag lady. She carries so much of this emotional baggage when her idealism doesn't come to reality, and she does not know how to differentiate from fantasy from reality, and it really becomes like so dang a shocker to her, and she feels so distraught, and she just goes on and just to sulk about it like throughout 24/7. And I could feel like the writer's room could have did so much better with this, because she could have had so much 10 times like consequences, well, higher dire consequences towards her actions, besides helping Bellows within like the future, for a spoiler alert for anyone out there on season 2, and also could have possibly ended the Boiling Isles in the demon world itself. And she's not willing to just take off the rose-colored glasses and be able to see that all that glitters is actually gold, and that she has to have really hard work and also self-love to be able to grow from doing what she loves to do, and to be able to make good friends and also become a healthy, like-minded, well-intentioned adult if she were to have a future. And I do feel like this is also a fault on her take. After watching the show, we're watching the show, I pretty much got the hints that she was acting a little bit strangely, because you know why? Because I really wish that the creator of the show, Dana Terrace, actually had the time to be able to show like the symptoms of neurodivergency with like ADHD, which she said in her interview after the season 1 impact and whatnot, and also the finale of it. I really did wish that she did have the chance to be able to actually show and not tell to the audience and also the viewers and fans alike that she actually has like an ADHD and neurodivergence in herself, to be able to establish that and have a scene, say for example during the first episode, that Camila brought up papers to show that she has ADHD or neurodivergence in the point, or let the principal let notice of that though. So I feel like that was a fluke on that part. And this could explain to so much of why she acts this way, and it's absolutely like we had so much of that to be able to contribute towards her character, and that could tell us right then from there that maybe she does have acted a certain type of way. Maybe she needs to build the blocks and be reasonable to like just sit down, listen out to people. But instead, she took the most impressionable route as a teenager, even though she knows right from wrong, and when to stop and when to go at certain like conversations, and have like a heart-to-heart with her mom before venturing out to the Boiling Isles, even lying to her. And we all know she has her bag of secrets and lies that she pretty much kept to herself, which makes her come across as a really bad person, just trying to detriment her self-worth and others. This one time why I say this, because a good depiction of like how neurodivergence can also affect a person and people around them is that they don't really become upfront with their personality and how they are. And I, for one, say for example, watched this recent episode of Arthur about autism and also hard to understand in others. Is the episode when Carl met George, and which it tells about a person named George who likes trains and whatnot, and it dealt with like a really neurodivergence and Asperger's in like a really impactful way that gets to show like some of the characters like nicks and picks and their flaws too as such, and it really shows like how they grow from it too to a certain extent, and that you have to take time to be able to do that. Now we're gonna get down to at least Luz's flaws, because there's like many consequences that she should have had get scolded from. Say for example to the point where she one time lost Albert, Edith's talisman, which could have pretty much detrimented her, and also which she could have got scolded for her earlier by Ida to an extent. Heck, even ruining her relationship with Ida, and also possibly saving helping her save like very much future episodes of like her trying to save herself in certain dire situations though, because she needs Albert to be able to focus her magic with. And now we're going to move on to the next pretty much segment. Her delusional and impressionability desires can lead to consequences which she doesn't think things through. Like I said in the next part, the learning process during like the whole Snowy Alps episode where she almost got everyone in danger during that abominable snowman and also destroying Albert. This is going to be one that's pretty much going to hit hard throughout. It's going to be pretty much shipping related though, but this is not a shipping video or whatnot. Her insecurities nearly ruined her chance with Amity and also trying to oppress her to a certain extent. Like say for example to the point of her just meddling to like the affairs during the convention episode where she pretty much tries her very best to be like the most impressionable witch throughout the whole Boiling Isles and like try to be the main character, trying to save everyone and be needy and meddling. And I feel like she's trying to be able to impress someone that she likes to an extent just to be in favor of Ida and also everyone else's eyes without taking consideration of their wants and needs, like everyone's wants and needs surrounding her. And that can all come from very nasty and really negative results when it comes down to having a relationship. Because Amity, during this far, she should have stopped dealing with like Luz's lying and also nonchalant attitude and make her come across as a B word in a certain extent. Because the way Luz points out, if things don't go her way to like her idealistic views, then she just shuts down on it and just acts all nonchalant and ambivalent and just let things fall into like place in the worst ways possible. And I understand that she, during the episode, during like the whole daddy issue episode, she talks about her father passing away, which contributes to the way she acts and that she doesn't have the necessary tools to build like a healthy relationship though. And it really comes across as that her being a B to a certain extent. And I feel that is true to an extent because her naivete is willing to just like destroy almost everything within sight, be it from friends, her surroundings, and also meddling and being needy just to be having self-approval and self-worth, just to build her self-worth to be able to have the best outlook in life, turning her fantasies into reality, but it does not work that way. She's not willing to just like listen out and let her impulsiveness get the best of her on many occasions. And this is absolutely sick. No. Now, besides the Snowy Alps episode, there's this one episode in particular in season 2, during the time that they try to face Belos and stop the plan of draining the draining spell magic, trying to take over the Boiling Isles, sucking up everyone's magic and whatnot, killing them. One episode where like Luz ignored Ida and put herself in danger. Basically, throughout the episode and series, Ida has taught and protected Luz from dangers of the Boiling Isles. Good wisdom and intuition, that's what a good teacher does, but even though Ida has her faults and flaws too, Luz forgets that she's only a human in a world full of magical creatures, and this comes to a head in season 2. You know, like I said, facing the Emperor and whatnot. Emperor Belos and the rest of the cousins are extremely powerful, and Ida tried to keep Luz out of the oncoming war. Instead, well, I wouldn't say war though, just like a plan to destroy all magical beings. Like, there was no war. It was not giving war in this scenario. We all know it. It was just giving just destroy the Boiling Isles and witch hunting, whatnot, in Velocide. But yeah, instead of understanding Ida's intentions, Luz felt patronized while Luz walked to help. It was an incredibly thoughtless act as ignoring Ida's warnings almost get her killed. Yes, truly and tremendously. Like her willingness to be able to not let sleeping dogs lie and also just like be, like I said, needy and whatnot. It really shows that she's not willing to let things go. Just to be able to stay, just like, if I help this person, maybe my self-worth could build myself up. And it's just like, she portrays like her problems onto people to be able to fix them. And maybe she'll feel like she could be able to just like solve the world's problems and have like this idealism turn realistically and realism though. She doesn't know the two and differentiate that. And she pretty much suffers from that after seeing the results of helping Belos throughout a different timeline and also using the draining spell and being like selfless, even though a good add to it, and taking Hunter's place during like time just to be captured by Belos. Yeah, because at this point, I do feel like during like season 2, we get to see like the dire consequences of her actions and her impulsivity and her naivete and her neediness get into like this fabulous crash burn, and you get to see so much like emotional like distress it puts it under to her, be it from her girlfriend, be it to her friends and family and everyone else, and also chosen family for that matter, and also the citizens of the Boiling Isles. Now, why I say all these things, because like I said, she's a flawed person in like writing aspect and also a flawed person in character too also, because you get to see so much of this like fabulous crash burn from like absolutely coming from the ashes but yet staying in the ashes, because during like season 3 she wasn't a phoenix. She was like this preppy, perky, happy-go-lucky, impressionable girl that we didn't see there in season 3 because of how pretty much things didn't turn out in her favor, and how it shows that her fantasy and her idealism way of turning reality, she didn't get what she wanted in the end, and she had to pretty much dealt with the consequences of her action. And I felt what she does about it is that she completely sulks in like the situation, which is fine though, but it absolutely shows that she's not willing to just like at least talk and just like stay away from people just to solve her own problems still. And she really needs to like try to like learn how to have key communication regardless of like ADHD and also being neurodivergent, because I too am a person with like ADHD full functioning, and I can still like be with the in crowd and whatnot and try to be able to just like learn from my mistakes, because we're all human here, and I get that, and I commend like the staff writers for doing that though. But in certain places they just felt like they were just like waiting for her to be able to make a mistake but yet like not go upon about it, and you get to see so much like emotional like distress it puts it under to her, be it from her girlfriend, be it to her friends and family and everyone else, and also chosen family for that matter, and also the citizens of the Boiling Isles. Now, why I say all these things, because like I said, she's a flawed person in like writing aspect and also a flawed person in character too also, because you get to see so much of this like fabulous crash burn from like absolutely coming from the ashes but yet staying in the ashes, because during like season 3 she wasn't a phoenix. She was like this preppy, perky, happy-go-lucky, impressionable girl that we didn't see there in season 3 because of how pretty much things didn't turn out in her favor, and how it shows that her fantasy and her idealism way of turning reality, she didn't get what she wanted in the end, and she had to pretty much dealt with the consequences of her action. And I felt what she does about it is that she completely sulks in like the situation, which is fine though, but it absolutely shows that she's not willing to just like at least talk and just like stay away from people just to solve her own problems still. And she really needs to like try to like learn how to have key communication regardless of like ADHD and also being neurodivergent, because I too am a person with like ADHD full functioning, and I can still like be with the in crowd and whatnot and try to be able to just like learn from my mistakes, because we're all human here, and I get that, and I commend like the staff writers for doing that though. But in certain places they just felt like they were just like waiting for her to be able to make a mistake but yet like not go upon about it, to the point of just like sulking in her own like stew of misery and depression, and just not being so active and just not seeing that old personality of Luz being a key component throughout the whole show and series throughout season 3. And I felt like she got a little bit too rewarded for all of her actions there like the time of season 1 and 2. And even though she suffered her reaction, her depression throughout, and got out of the funk of it on season 3, like I said, to lose at a sense though. But I just felt like there's certain points in which like the writing, to the point of just like sulking in her own like stew of misery and depression, and just not being so active and just not seeing that old personality of Luz being a key component throughout the whole show and series throughout season 3. And I felt like she got a little bit too rewarded for all of her actions there like the time of season 1 and 2. And even though she suffered her reaction, her depression throughout, and got out of the funk of it on season 3, just at a sense though. But I just felt like there's certain points in which like the writing was compromised in certain parts of the show. This is my opinion though, but you know, disclaimer and all before I say this, is the fact that they kind of painted out her to be a Mary Sue to certain extent in certain episodes. Say for example, like I see remember season 2, during like the whole daddy issue episode, and also basically the whole dating episode when she tried to confess to Amity to be her girlfriend, and also the whole, you know, her sacrificing in Hunter's place for facing Bellows without telling anybody else and forming the plan to also, like I said. And you all know not all characters within the show are perfect, which I'm gonna save that for another video. soon enough. But yeah, luznoceda is another character I can relate to because she's pretty much this neurodivergent hero that we all asked for, but yet in certain parts like she had a lot to work onto herself like everybody else in like the series itself, and it feels great to see that character just go about her way to like improve that the whole series goes on, and you get to see so many of these layers unpeel during like season 3, and pretty much what she wanted to do is her objective in the whole show is just to be like understood truly. At that point, I feel like that whole part during like that whole confession to her mom on season 3 could have been pushed back to season 2 along with her talisman hatching, because it could have get so much context to like what Luz as a character should have grown out of and how to better herself had it not dealt with like whole executive and also Disney interference, and also the shortening down to like season 3 becoming a whole filler season at that point in the matter. So yeah, I really did felt like those many aspects could have been saved to like so much of season 2 had like certain episodes, like 6 episodes could have been replaced with like certain core episodes for like character development episodes for like side characters, along with Luz's origins or past being explored a lot more, be it for like having a Man in the Noceda debate episode could really commemorate towards Luz's character along with her progress in the series as a whole, and how much it took in like such a mentality towards her psyche as such, and how it impacted her in a negative way, and just growing out of that mourning and grieving like cycle. And having that being said, I don't want this video to be too long because I'm already into like I think 20 minutes for that matter. But yeah, I really did like doing this video because it really just shows that not all neurodivergent means that you're innocent at all. It just shows that you have a really different perception of what the world, how you see the world very differently, and it really can impact you in the most tremendous way if you learn how to like pretty much listen and communicate, and also be able to just like be who you are truly and authentically, and not be a people pleaser or needy or just impulsive, even though it takes like a lot of time to work out those impulsive kinks during like your time period, depending on who you are and where you're at in the world, and also hard working and just learning how to grow within your own self, because it can do so much from you once you know how to like pretty much self-control and self-teach yourself, be it from an art or something that you love to do, or trying to be able to just like do good for the world. And it really goes into like a really great thing when you try to learn your flaws, and it's so gorgeous to see like a lot of great things come into a good fault. When you learn to be able to just love yourself first and not be able to care what people think, because I too am going along that journey myself too, and I hope to pass on these wise words along to the viewer or a subscriber or a fan alike of my work too. Just trying to gain at least 100 subscribers would do next to me also, not for the clout baiting and clout chasing and whatnot, but it's all about the journey, and it's all about the beautiful wisdom that you can share with the world to do good for yourself and anybody else to pass it on. It quite helps too, because we live in a day and age because now everybody doesn't want to listen, everybody wants to be a know-it-all and not take a critique or just be able to get to know people and just judge a book by its cover nowadays, and it's absolutely upsetting, and we need to learn how to work around ourselves. So, having that being said, I'll be making another segment soon enough because I have like at least 8 or 9 to go, depending on how I feel and how life is right about now for me. And a life out of Santa fandom, I had to pretty much just like do adult stuff nowadays, But yeah, hope you look out on my social media platforms. I'm on Tumblr, Twitter, Pinterest, even though I don't use Twitter like that, but Pinterest is a good one too. Instagram, all that just shit and all that stuff. This is KyokoCane, the brown sugar queen, the melon siren herself, signing out the Daystar Voyage. Y'all have a blessed good one. Drink plenty of water, stay in school, eat healthy and right, pass on good wisdom. And this is the crackdown of the Owl House debunking special. Signing out. Till next time. Peace.